Same script, different characters. We are Chelsea again.
Very surprising.
I mean, scandalous. Waking up to news that Chelsea have fired their manager after a run of bad results. I mean, we all have to be honest. I mean, it's been
bad results. I wouldn't really subscribe to that.
No, because if you look at the data available, you see, Tuchel wrote on a certain mantra. The mantra was that he was able to keep a compact team. He was able to keep a team that was defensively sound. And indeed, the statistics did back him. Yesterday was his 100th game. In his first 50 games as manager, conceded only 24 goals. In his last 50, conceded 53 goals. So it tells you that this is a manager whose team is out of control.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really say that the team is out of control. You see, there are two sides of this whole thing. I think the new owner is seriously doing something very opposite to his previous or the predecessor, because the best way you can judge this decision is by comparing it with what Roman Abramovich did first when he took over in 2003. You see, when he took over in 2003, the funny thing is that he did not fire the manager during the course of the season. He signed a couple of players, including Crespo and Veron and all of these likes. But he waited till the end of the season before he brought in his first top manager, Jose Mourinho. My question is that, are Chelsea in crisis?
You don't think they are?
Are they in crisis?
You don't Answer think they are?
No, we are just 6 games into the season. They are not even 10th. They are around 6th.
Hold on. Do Chelsea have an identity?
How many matches have been played? Chelsea's identity has always been seen. And Chelsea's identity was seen in Conte, and the same thing is seen in Tuchel.
Percy, before my good friend Lucky joins the conversation, the truth of the matter is that if you look at Chelsea, if you look at how much they have spent on their defense and how ridiculous the defense has been, obviously anybody putting in that kind of...
Is that the first
money on Cucurella?
Was that the first target? Was Koulibaly the first target? That's the question.
Sorry. And then the defense is still ridiculous.
And I ask you that, what was their first requirement? They never said they wanted
an investor.
Kofi, I think that you're being too harsh on Tuchel.
Would you trigger the gun?
I won't. You see, I've always held this notion and believe that whatever decision was taken either this morning or yesterday is ridiculous, and for me it doesn't make sense. You've spent £273 million
just on the defense
in just 5 days. No, the entire squad. That's how much it cost. £273 million in just 5 days. You think you can use a day to rebuild that team? And let's not forget, almost every single department of the team has been strengthened per the transfer that Tuchel has done. He strengthened the defensive line. He strengthened the attacking line. We know that yes, Chelsea have not been the Chelsea that 2 seasons ago we know them to be. You spoke about their defensive frailties, but on what ground would you sack this manager? If you look at the numbers, he is the 3rd best manager after all the last 5 managers they've had in terms of win percentage. Conte 65%, Maurizio Sarri 62%, Frank Lampard 50%, and Thomas Tuchel 60%. And all 3 managers played more games than him. So if we are supposed to use the trajectory to judge him, he's actually on the rise to better all that record. Why would you sack him?
Let's talk about mutiny in the dressing room.
That's what I'm also hearing.
Sacrifice the players? Would you sacrifice the manager?
You see, if Todd Bowley or whoever made that decision, I spoke about Chelsea's structure. They do not have a structure because they don't have somebody running the sporting directorship or directorate of the club, because now everybody reports directly to Todd Bowley. People spoke about the problems at Manchester United and all of that. They do miss Granavsky already. Before Percy, you come in, look at these players. The players that I'm hearing apparently reported that they've lost faith in the manager are players who literally in the next 1 or 2 seasons they will fade out. These are players who are beyond 30, beyond 35 years. I don't want to mention any name here, but we know that there are reports that are out there that these so-called players, he brought in Koulibaly, fine, he brought him for fun. He's trying to rebuild and restructure the team. The manager's record, his record is arguably one of the best records in Europe. He's taken this team to 9 major cup finals in his last 3 seasons. 4 major cup finals in just 2 seasons. He won the Champions League in like first 6 months. What else do you expect from him? He's brought in new players. Obviously, it will take time for them to adjust. I think that Kofi is one of the rash
I think
you can ever
I will side
about.
with you in some stead. You see, first of all, he should know the kind of club you are in. A kind that is ruthless.
Chelsea are not a serious club.
No,
they're not a serious club. Chelsea's not a serious
my
club.
issue is that don't even bring the Granovskaya thing in that
They're not a serious club.
It's not like
They do miss her because it was
just
there.
understand.
Yeah, she gave flesh
Granovskaya
to
did not come until
a
recently.
structure.
Everybody was reporting directly to Roman Abramovich when you took over.
But at least they gave a structure.
They gave a
I'm
structure.
coming.
They gave a
presence.
Now, the next thing is that I don't want to really blame Tuchel for this, but
Okay, well,
the first thing I'm going to talk about, the mutiny in Chelsea room. I can give you about 5 or 6 instances. There are times DJ Drogba and his squad have fired a manager.
that's true.
In fact, they fired what's the name of that Portuguese manager? Scolari. They fired him 2008 before even the season could continue. You can also talk about Frank Lampard being fired by Willian and the likes.
Yeah.
You can also talk about what's the name of that guy? That other Portuguese guy who Mourinho's assistant.
AVB.
AVB. He was also fired by the.
So
I'm trying to say that it's a trend that happens.
The weakness
But
in the
this,
club.
But in this stead, you can't blame him much. You were talking about strength of defense. What was his first target of defense? It wasn't Koulibaly, it was Koundé.
We know.
I'm coming. He has only gotten his B players. See,
That's why I'm actually in support. I'm actually in support of Tuchel.
Percy. There was never a talk of Cucurella until Benchua got injured. You can also talk about his attack. You are talking about Sterling. Who said they wanted Sterling? They wanted Lewandowski. They couldn't get him. They wanted Haaland. They couldn't get him. They wanted Rafinha. They could not get him.
Why didn't you blame the
Percy, if
manager?
you go on that state, the issue is that many clubs all throughout Europe have a list of targets they want. If you're unable to get your
should have a
A
plan B.
target, exactly.
You should have a plan C.
Exactly.
It is not at often times
Yes,
that
because
you.
how many times have been spoken
How
about
many times do you get about
Not
5
being
of
a
your
very good
players?
True.
You didn't get it. All you got was B.
Today, arguably, is sacking or coach sacking.
Of
day.
course.
A lot of managers have been
RB
fired.
Leipzig have sacked their manager.
Of course, we know that.
Julian Lopetegui has been sacked.
gone.
I remember
Today,
myself and Kofi were
Sevilla.
talking about him, and
He's gone.
Bologna have also sacked their manager. So
And
I
I
don't know
think
what is
Brendan Rodgers
happening.
is also in the waiting.
Well, he will. If
Slater
they
has been
lose,
typed.
Of course. The funny thing is that
he's
how
just waiting for a signature.
How do you sack Tuchel?
yeah.
How do you sack? That is why the last time, remember, I was telling you that it depends on the mentality of the club.
No, but-
that is why I'm coming. I don't know why Klopp is still opposed if you are doing this, because now listen to this.
Chelsea's structure is different from
Listen to
Liverpool's
this.
structure.
Listen to this. Leicester has won only 1 league title. That is why when you have a coach like Brendan Rodgers putting you in 20, you are okay. But that is Leicester. If you take Chelsea, for the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they are always winning the league. But with Liverpool, you have won the league 18 times. But because you have only seen a manager who has won you the league in the last 30 years, you see it as an okay. That was just
there's talk of Graham Potter replacing.
That is insanity.
So who do you think would
Brighton and Overbeyond? No, Brighton and Overbeyond.
I have my own opinion on Graham. I think he's a brilliant manager.
brilliant manager,
And
you're lucky.
if you watch,
Do you know Moyes was a brilliant manager? David Moyes was a
come
brilliant
on.
manager.
come
No,
on.
I want you to
come
know.
on. I mean,
You look at
no,
2005, he qualified
no.
Everton to Champions
No, yeah,
League.
I agree.
qualify Everton.
Yes.
I always,
Until he came to United,
I believe
he was
the
a brilliant
devil
manager.
is in the details.
Yes, I
if you look at the
agree.
detail and the body of work that has
done
gone
at
into
Brighton. I mean,
the revolution at Brighton, you don't compare that to
absolutely
David Moyes.
beautiful.
But there is Mauricio Pochettino is free.
Yes.
Graham Potter is tied up.
Zidane is
Zidane is not
for
coming.
Zidane, let's leave Zidane out because
He's
we know that
still
he will
getting
take up
the French national team
that
job.
French national team job. Luis Enrique won't come.
Yeah.
What other manager is free?
Ole.
Yeah, and there's this Norwegian
Ole!
journalist that has actually reported that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is likely
He's typing.
Here we go.
to replace
Ole
Tuchel as manager.
I just want to tag the bit of Graham Potter.
Yeah.
You see, I am not saying Graham Potter is not a brilliant manager. We don't use brilliant. If you talk about brilliant, then we'll take Frank Lampard because his IQ is
talking
good.
about body of work. When I use the word
No,
brilliant,
I am
telling you, no,
to the
I disagree
specifics
with
of
you.
Then
it.
I'm giving you specifics.
Lampard.
You said
Graham
brilliant.
Potter.
Have you seen Brighton play?
Parallels.
Listen,
They are
did you
miles
see, no,
apart.
did you see Derby County play?
Oh, come on.
No, did you see them play?
please,
No,
please,
I'm just
I
telling
watched
you.
Derby
on,
County
come
play
No,
in the
did you see them
Championship.
play?
Yes, I watched them play in the Championship.
Stop being sarcastic in this way.
Let's switch.
I am trying to tell you that
Come on, Percy,
some
come
managers,
on.
some managers are made for where they are.
Let's stay
You
on
don't
course.
bring Graham Potter into this picture.
Let's stay on course. Tuchel, for me, in his last 3 years, he's in his third year. First year, he walks in, wins the Champions League. I mean, his run was amazing. Second season,
His run was lucky.
places third,
could
but
say that.
makes 3 major finals, cup major finals, though he lost all of them. But you see, we always say, in which terrain is he competing? At the time, he was competing with 2 of the best managers ever seen in the Premier League, who were at their pump.
One of the best managers
Ever seen?
No.
2 of the best
Never.
managers ever seen in the Premier League.
No. Who and who?
Klopp,
Seriously?
and Pep.
Serious?
No. For whatever you may,
Change that as a
I will take.
Okay,
Don't
whatever
bring
you may
Klopp into it.
think.
Then I'll bring Claudio Rene. He's one of the best managers ever seen.
Whatever you may think about Jurgen Klopp, 1 in 7, but he was competing with very good managers at the time.
Yeah, very good.
No,
That
that's
one's
okay.
okay.
Because
That one
if
agree.
somebody needed 99 points to win the league, 100 points to win the league, you get even 98 points, it will not even win you the
The
league.
very fact that
It
you
tells
win 99 points does not
listen,
mean that is the best manager.
It tells you that, listen, there's a lot of work that Tuchel has done to be able to be considered amongst these things. Do you think going forward, I'm yet to see Chelsea change under the new ownership? I don't know what you think.
Well, I think Chelsea is a confused club. I mean, I've always maintained Chelsea is a tiny club with no traditions.
That's too harsh.
Tiny club with no mentality. You understand? Because honestly, we are having this discourse because it makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense.
I would
I mean, this is where they are. This is what they have grown used to. Because Chelsea, I mean, if you talk to the rank and file of Chelsea supporters, they'll tell you every time they fire a manager, something good comes out of that firing.
Yeah.
But I think this is the height of madness. And for me, I think that Chelsea really need to look at their structure going forward.
I wouldn't say this is the height of madness. I wouldn't say that. This is what they do. This is Chelsea.
So for you, this is Chelsea.
No. This is how they survive. This is how Chelsea has been.
No, but
I always ask that, who is Tuchel? They have brought in Ancelotti, who wins you a double in the first season. I'm coming. And the second season, he goes to quarterfinals of Champions League, being eliminated by Manchester United.
So for you, it's still Chelsea.
I am trying to tell you that this is deja vu. This is reset.
All right,
this is factory reset.
We are. We are all shocked. But listen, we are having this program where we are shooting at Red Mango, the gardens, and their pub is amazing. The bar is amazing. Wherever you may be, whenever you find yourself in Takrady in Ghana, this is a place to be. Red Mango, and yes, more importantly, subscribe to Sports 101. Your comments are welcome.